Are your toes feeling strong?
Always.
Something you do regularly is strengthen those toes? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to be working a lot with the toe intrinsics, and they don't cross the knee, so it doesn't matter the position you have the rest of their leg. One position that's usually the most comfortable is a figure 4. So Jimmy, if you're more comfortable, you can cross like that, because then that gives that knee just a little bit of slack, and then you could sit all the way up, or you could be on your elbows, whatever is comfortable for your patient. Usually, they're going to perform better with manual muscle testing if they can see what you're asking them to do, okay? And so typically you wouldn't want them supine because they won't figure out what you're asking them because the toes are weird, right? Yeah.
So if they're in like a wheelchair or something like that, could you do that with them in the chair? Sure,
of course. So you might have them put their foot on a stool, and so they're still, as long as their hamstrings aren't too tight, so you can have them out like that. Okay, but really the position of everything proximal to the ankle isn't going to matter a whole lot. Okay, now the first one is the abductor hallucis, which is a foot intrinsic, and it's going to be the muscle that makes up the arch of the foot. So this is going to be the muscle that's bringing the toe out, and for a lot of people, so you start with, Jimmy, I'm going to hold your foot here because we always stabilize proximally. I'd like you to get your big toe to touch my finger. Okay, and relax. Okay, very, 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 very few people can actually abduct their big toe. Okay, so the next thing you can do is abduct it for them, and then so I'm stabilizing proximally. Can you hold your toe there? So I want to stabilize a little bit differently because I want to have my fingers on that muscle belly. So I'm going to have you hold it out there again. Hold it, hold it, hold it.
There's nothing.
You have nothing. Like you're not even contracting that muscle. So this is a very hard one to grade because you don't have the whole full available range of motion and all of that because it's not a muscle that is hugely effective. Okay? So really for this one you're going to document it narratively. So I would document that the patient was unable to maintain in an abducted position and no contraction was felt. All right. So that's the abductor hallucis. So for the flexor hallucis longus and brevis, we're going to have the brevis, which is going to be flexing the MTP, and the longus that's going to be flexing the IP joint. Okay? So just like we did before, actually let's have you flip your feet. I'm going to test this one, and just because I think it'll be easier for everyone to see. Okay, so just like we did before, and actually I'm going to take a stool from Emily. Thank you.
Let's go.
So if I'm going to test flexor hallucis brevis, which is going to be MTP, I'm going to stabilize the metatarsal, and then what I'd like you to do, Jimmy, is bend your toe down. Good. Now hold it there, and don't let me pull it up. And relax. Good. Now we're going to test the next muscle that bends the next joint in your toe. So now I've changed where I'm stabilizing, right? Now I'm going to stabilize the MTP, and now what I want you to do is bend your toe over my thumb. So can you bend just that last little bit? Nice. Okay, hold it there. So I'm testing flexor hallucis longus by testing resisting flexion at the IP joint. And relax. Good. Okay?
You can do that better, yeah.
Yeah, you're a little bit better on that one. Now for extensor hallucis longus and brevis, we test together. And it's also going to have a part of extensor digitorum, the most medial slip. So we're actually going to let the ankle be in a little bit of plantar flexion. I'm going to stabilize the metatarsal, and so what I want you to do is now bring your toe up to your nose. There you go, good. And hold it there. Now I'm going to resist extension at both segments, okay, because we're testing it as a group here. I'm winning. And relax, good. Okay, so for the extensor part, remember that we're testing in slight plantar flexion, okay, and that's to give that muscle, those muscles obviously cross the ankle as well, and so we want to have them at optimal length, okay? And so we're testing extensor hallucis longus, extensor hallucis brevis, and the medial slip of extensor digitorum. but I'm stabilizing here and I'm resisting both extension at the MTP and extension at the IP. Okay? Oh boy.
Bad news.
So just like we saw in the hand, the lumbricals and interossei of the feet are responsible for flexing at the MTP joint and extending at the IP joints of digits 2 through 5. Okay? So we're going to do it similarly to what we did for the hand, but the test, so again we're doing digits 2 through 5. So I'm gonna start by flexing you over my finger. Okay, now can you hold your, but I want the other joints, the other IP joints to be extended. So I'm not flexing his toes all the way across my finger. I'm just flexing the MTP. Can you hold him there?
Maybe.
Okay, so that answer is no. Okay? So can you hold him there? Push these fingers down against my hand. So part of the problem, go ahead and relax. So part of the problem is I was flexing them for him. Now where am I giving him resistance to push against? Into extension, which is not what we want to test. So for Jimmy, it's not good for me to put him in the test position and see if he holds it. It's better for me to put my hand there and push your toes into my finger. Okay?
That makes a lot more
So
sense.
for you, that works better for you.
Yep.
Okay? And relax. Now, I'm going to go ahead and flex at that joint again, but now I want you to not let me curl the ends of your toes. Okay? Because remember, this is a 2-joint test for lumbricals and interossei. So we're resisting flexion at the MTP and extension at the PIP and DIP of digits 2 through 5. And relax. And we're giving a manual muscle test grade based on the weakest of those two. Okay? So if you thought it was a weird test at the hand, it's even weirder at the foot. Okay? Is that enough, or do you want to keep? That's enough. That's enough. We're resisting MTP flexion and then DIP and PIP extension. Now, as you all experienced, it's not an easy test to perform for the patient. It's very difficult for them to do. So the key parts of this test are that you don't want to be resisting flexion of the PIP or DIP. You want to only be resisting flexion of the MTP. And in the second part, you actually want to be holding the MTP in flexion while you're resisting extension of the PIP and the DIP. Okay? So if I started out, I'm like, okay, Gabe, I'd like you to fold your toes, whatever they are. Right there you go. Now hold it there. Now I'm not resisting flexion of his, even though they're flexed, I'm only resisting that MTP flexion. Good, and relax. Now I don't care what your big toe does. I only care about what the rest of your toes. But now I'm gonna go ahead and relax your foot for me. I'm going to bring these down, and I'm gonna hold them there for you. Now I'm stabilizing the foot with my thumb. I am flexing his MTPs. Now I'm gonna try to curl the rest of your toes, and I don't want you to let me. Okay? So hold them there. Don't let me. Don't let me. Don't let me. Don't let me. Okay? So I just wanted to go back over that test now that you've had a chance to practice it and see it again. Okay?